Obviously, happy to get the win. That was a huge shot by Paul at the end. Got a lot of work to do, as everybody can tell. Thought we weren't very aggressive, particularly to start the game. They sliced our defense up. Our press was pretty poor. So we've got a lot of work to do, but appreciate Paul bailing us out there at the end. And we did a good job in the 6-minute game, something we work on. We're down 79-70 and walked it down to win. But we've got to make sure we don't put ourselves in that position. Their guards were really good. Couldn't stay in front of Michi. We left Ellis open at the back end of the press a bunch. They were stacking aside on the press, and we were doing, we were trapping when we shouldn't trap, and you got to drop back. And so that's been a problem that we've seen in practice. We saw it in our first scrimmage. So we obviously haven't been able to get that fixed, and that's something that we've got to get fixed and fixed quickly so teams can't take advantage of that. But we'll get back to work this week and certainly try to improve.
Are some of those mistakes that just get cleaned up over a period of time, or when scouting reports are very thorough?
Yeah, I mean, we did a pretty good scout on South Carolina. We did probably about 80-90% of what we do in a typical scout on this one. But some of it's just playing together and understanding the press and understanding when it's a stack side, when it's a single side, when it's a single side with a shooter, when it's a single side with a non-shooter. Because when Stute's in the corner, you can't. I mean, there's a lot of different things, and we've gone through it, but we couldn't. The back guy has to communicate it, and we just couldn't get that communication down tonight.
Q and Trey both talked about the confidence that they have in Paul McNeil to make that shot. I mean, how much confidence did you have that he could hit that?
Well, we called the play for him. I mean, it was supposed to be a clean look off of a flare down screen, but he made a big time shot. So I mean, we called the play for him, so we're pretty confident. He's probably the best tough shot maker that we have. He makes a couple of those in practice every day, just about. So very proud of him, very pleased with him. He's grown a lot since last year and grown a lot since we've gotten here. And so, happy that he could have this moment.
You mentioned the last 6 minutes and how they were able to close it out. What does it just say about this team being a new set of guys and able to show up when it mattered?
Well, you want to be tough, and we work on the 6-minute games. We play those 2 or 3 times a week. We spend an inordinate amount of time on that because you're going to be in a lot of those, especially when you're playing other high major teams or you're in conference. And so that's something that we spend a lot of time on. So it was good. Our scrimmage, there was no 6-minute game because the margin was a little bit different. So this was good to get some of that on film, but we've got to focus on what we do to make sure that we're not in those situations. And so I told our guys, you can never accept in winning what you wouldn't accept in losing. And so you win in the margins. And even though Paul's shot went in, that doesn't change the issues that we have. Paul's shot didn't go in, we still got the same issues. We spent also a ton of time on closing out the first half. Pitiful. We picked up an offensive foul, took 2 points off the board. We gamble for a steal, and then we overrun a play, and we give them 2 free throws at the end. That was a 4-point swing. If Paul's shot doesn't go in, we probably like those 4 points. We were 19 of 30 at the free throw line. We missed 11 free throws, a couple front ends of one-on-ones. You can't shoot 63% from the free throw line and win a lot of games at this level. Now, give our guys credit for getting to the free throw line 30 times. That's really good. But, if Paul's shot doesn't go in, we'd probably like to have 3 or 4 of them free throws back. So, that's the sort of stuff that we have to be honed in on and focused in on. Defensively, I thought we were the aggressors for probably 8 of the 32 minutes. Probably the first 4 minutes, I thought Arsenault did a great job getting us going. And probably the last 4 to 5 minutes, I thought we were the aggressors. The other times we were on our heels and we were on ice skates out there. They were just picking who they wanted to shoot. And so we need to certainly, get some of those things fixed as well.
Obviously, this isn't Lenovo Center. It's not the season opener or anything along those lines, but what are your thoughts on the NC State fans?
It's great. It's great, man. Great to have a great crowd. It was way more full than I thought it would be, and our fans were into it, and so we appreciate them. We appreciate all of them coming and spending their afternoon with us, and can't wait to see everybody, next Monday at Lenovo for the real deal. But we got incredible fans. We got great folks, and it's cool cool to see everybody here today.
South Carolina was picked to finish last in the SEC. Judging off of what you saw tonight, what makes them better than what the polls might say?
I think they've got really good guard play. You know, last year they had Murray Boyles, who was a great player, obviously an NBA player. But I don't want to talk poorly about, but like their guard play wasn't what it is now. There's a reason he went and got Michi Johnson back. There's a reason Michi had his career year when he was with them the year they won the SEC the year before. Ellis is obviously a tremendous player. He plays well above his, well over his age. And so their guard play, Knox is really good in transition. He hit a big corner three for him. I think their guard play is much improved. I think they shoot the ball well, and then he's just got a flotilla of bigs. He can try every big out and see which one's working that day, and whichever one works, he can play them. But I think they're going to be a good team. One of the reasons we wanted to scrimmage him is what they do offensively and the way he plays the motion and some of that stuff is just about some of the hardest stuff for us to guard. So I wanted to get that and see how spread we got, and we need to get better. We need to get better there, and so we knew that was going to be a challenge coming in. But they do a really, really good job.
Q has a lot about Q and his leadership this offseason. What was it like getting to see him in a quote-unquote real game and just what he did for the team?
I think Q, everybody feeds off his energy, he understands what it takes to win, and he kept everybody calm, and hey, we're going to find a way to pull this out, we're going to find a way to do this. And so Q's really matured and somebody that a lot of our guys look to make sure that they're that they get their confidence from him. And so when he's confident and he's calm in those situations, a lot of our guys are as well. And so I think that's something that he feeds down to our players, and I thought that helped quite a bit today.
When you face an elite shooter like Ellis, what's the key to shutting down that?
Well, not leaving him open like we did. I mean, we had 3 breakdowns at the end of the press. We over-rotated on a non-shooter one time and left him open. And so, I mean, you can't, once those guys see that first shot go in and get that first clean look in, it's tough. And so, you can't, some of those were just straight target practice that any great shooter is going to make, and he's a great shooter.
There's some skepticism on whether Eli's game will actually translate to the major college level. Do you think it translates?
Who's skeptical on that?
Anybody who does basketball recruiting rankings, for sure. Well,
no, he's a good player, but you can't measure. Look, his dad Jeremy's a hell of a guy. I've known him a long time, and that kid's made of the right stuff. Look, the basketball skills are one thing, but the moxie and the toughness and the grit and those sort of things. I mean, that's what you have to have if you're a smaller guard. If you're a smaller guard to make it in a power conference, you got to be able to make shots, and you got to have some grit. And he can make shots, and he's got grit. So I think he's going to be just fine.
Darian Williams, 4 for 4 in the second half with 10 points. How nice is it to have him and Q down the stretch when you get to that 6-minute?
Yeah, we really went to Darian down the stretch, and look, he's here for a reason, and we're gonna make sure that we put him in the right spots, put him in the right spots down the stretch, and make sure that we, put him in the best positions. And so we really went to him, late in the game, and we should have gone to him a little bit earlier as well, but. He had those 2 fouls in the first half. We played him for a while with 2 fouls, and we took him out to make sure he didn't pick up a third before halftime. But he's going to be a great player for us, and it was good for him to knock some of that rust off. And I know he'll be better moving forward.
One more.
Coach, you spoke earlier, just kind of the preseason about just how tough it was to even get Musa here, and just for him to be able to, play again, quote unquote, real game. The players were just talking about just how much fun he seemed to be having a smile on his face. From your perspective, just what was it like to see him actually?
It was great. We talked before the game. He said, "Coach, 6 weeks ago we were in Madrid." I was like, "Yeah, we were in Madrid, and who would have thought we'd been here?" So he said, "Now I play college basketball games." So he's an awesome kid. He's why you do it and why you work hard and spend all those extra hours. He's appreciative. That's the number one thing. He's appreciative, from where he's been and what he's come from. Any opportunity is he's appreciative of that, and so it was great to see him out there, and he's going to continue to get better. You know, he was a little bit rusty today. We see a lot better version of that most days, but he's a little bit rusty today, but he's gonna continue to get better, and I think that he'll be a really, really good player for us this season.